Good afternoon, folks. I've already tested Han, and I'm just going to explore Tang now. Compared to this car, the Camry and Passat are just tricycles. I encourage everyone to drive the Camry and Passat on the same day and then try out the Han. Set the suspension to sport mode, put the engines in sport, and the generator in sport. You'll be blown away. I've got two hybrids for review today because the electrics are pretty clear. They have 1,100 horses, acceleration of 2.7 and 3.9 to 100. It's very fast, and as for this body, it's fast too, so it's all clear with electrics. But I am interested in hybrids, how the generator works, whether there is vibration, when and how it pushes the car, how noisy it is, what kind of acceleration in general in the sensations, pure electric or not. Today, we will check all these things, and I will tell you about the new suspensions. They got new Union C suspensions, which are a simplified version of the ones installed on the Yangwang U7. They have identical hybrid systems with 700 HP, 3.9 and 4.5 seconds of acceleration. And I didn't just give the Camry and the Passat as an example. After the final presentation, the price was $10,000 cheaper. As I suspected, they decided to trick their customers again. For the top electric model, $38,000, and for the hybrid, $35,000. The top electric is $39,000, and the hybrid is $38,000 since there's a drone on the roof. Sit back comfortably. Let's begin. As in Yangwang, we need to adjust the settings in two different menus. Here's the main one. We go into settings, then driving, and here it is. Yes, sport mode is on for me. There's also a separate suspension setting, Union mode, and here two areas exist for adjusting the suspension. All right. Wow, how smoothly it began to drive, oh dear. This is a completely different level of suspension. I understand they're going to put it in BYD seal. And maybe, no, well, the Tang L won't get it. I enjoy it more than the Xiaomi SU7. You can feel how solid everything is here. Everything is very well built, and it drives smoothly and handles well. It feels so dense now, it holds well. Very well. The only thing that is a little lacking for me is a little more tightness in the steering wheel. I'm not saying that it feels hollow, empty, but it's just a little bit lacking so that I really like it at all. It's not a stiff car, the suspension doesn't bang, it's like a ball. Like a dense ball. And in soft mode, it's not so interesting in steering, but it gets softer, and it's just so comfortable. You drive it and it's all good, so even noticeable bumps, or we just went past a construction site when I was testing it before filming began. And in soft mode, it handles everything well. Again, the regeneration is slightly below average. It's not weak, nor is it average. It's just a bit below average. And it's not noisy in here. Well, I'm gonna check out its soundproofing now. The brakes are decent, no complaints about them, but I wish the regeneration was stronger. I didn't get enough lateral support, and you can't adjust it here. But you see, the cars are too cheap to give you everything. 58, 63, 67, 66. That's all. It can't do more. That's it. The rear is skidding. There, it slipped again. 67, 68. I'm back on the same road, the same curve. 60. The rear is skidding. 67, you saw it right? This Han has more knee room than the previous one. It's actually more comfortable for a taller person to sit here. In the previous one, I was just cramped. There was almost no room for knees. Let's say I could sit straight, but now I'm half reclined, and I still have a fist in front of my knees. After these two cars came out, I'm pretty sure they will be the #1 selling cars in the world. That's in the near future. Maybe 5 years from now. 99.9%. And probably by 2030 they'll surpass Toyota, because it's just impossible to compete with these cars. Passat and Camry compared to this car are just two bicycles. In every single way. Absolutely in all. In terms of hybrid technology, BYD is second in the world after Geely. I'm going to write down the numbers. They promise 4 liters of consumption. but you have to realize that this is on a CLTC cycle. In reality, it's going to be, I think, 5. And in the winter, plus 50%, let's say 6. Well, add another one on top of that. So 6 in the summer, 7.5 in the cold winter. Those are the numbers, I think, realistically. Now I'm going to turn on the internal combustion engine. It doesn't make any noise at all, it really doesn't. The steering wheel doesn't vibrate. To be precise, I can barely hear it. Overall, it operates very smoothly here. From what I gather, it will only assist at high speeds. My acceleration feels purely electric, to be honest. I often see people write in the comments about some liquidity in the resale market. Now attention. The driver of a Camry with a consumption of 12 liters, and the price of 1 liter of gasoline is $1. For 400,000 kilometers, he'll spend $48,000 on gas. The same Hans driver. He will spend 90% less on electricity. So not 48,000, but 4,800. So he will save $43,000. That one will spend 48 on gasoline. And the Han driver will spend 4,800 on electricity and save 43. So liquidity, huh? In the used market. Accordingly, it becomes irrelevant under what conditions you sell the Han with a mileage of 400,000. You just take the money you saved and buy yourself a similar new one. The Camry driver wasted $48,000 down the drain. Even after selling it, he will only get about 30% of the new price, which is the best case scenario. He will have to pay an additional $70 to buy a new one again. Liquidity? If someone says this to you, just tell them my words, as they are either foolish or they think you are a fool. The only thing to be fair is that the Camry driver drove in, poured gasoline and drove away and didn't sweat it. The driver of an electric car, he has a more complicated life, especially when there are few chargers in the city. You have to take that into account. But it's a question of comfort of use, not a question of liquidity. Look, I really wanted to test the copter, really. But it's a new test drive car. They just haven't had time to connect it yet. Accounts are needed and training must be completed. They simply don't have time to deal with this right now. They said if you want to test it and see how it works, just come back later and we'll show you. In this review, I won't waste airtime talking about the interior and equipment of these vehicles. All of that was detailed in the previous review. I recommend watching it, and I'll leave the link in the description. Despite the fact that it has the same Union C suspension, and I've set everything to sport mode, and the tire pressure is 2.7, even 2.8. It is softer than the Han. Softer and more wobbly. Although it should have been stiffer and more wobbly, but it's softer and more wobbly. The manager informs me that this vehicle is designed for families and it is maximally tuned for comfort, for family comfort, not for off-road use. Yes, it doesn't evoke the same emotions for me as the Han L did. No, it doesn't. I don't feel like pushing it. While the Han had a bit of a provocation, here I just want to cruise. The steering wheel is about the same as the Han L. It is literally just a bit lacking in stiffness. Just a little bit. Recuperation is the same as in the Han L, identical. The same electric motors are here, everything is the same. The brakes are sufficient. All right, look, if I told you in Han L how it's gonna tear up its competitors, let's talk about it here. Who's the competition here? The Highlander and the Touareg. But I can't say it like that. I can't. The Highlander should definitely be removed from this list right away. With all due respect to Toyota, just throw it away because it is a car for those who want reliability only, and that's it. However, there are currently many talks about how they are overpriced and don't justify their reliability in the end. We throw it away because it's just not fun to drive it, if that's what we're talking about specifically. As for the Touareg, it drives well. Indeed, it drives well. It falls short in power compared to this vehicle, but it drives well. Unlike the Passat, that drives far worse than this new Han L. Wait, but how much does the Touareg cost? We haven't discussed the main point here. So, the Touareg costs twice as much, right? More than twice as expensive, I think. Reliability of Volkswagen compared to BYD? I have doubts about Volkswagen. Oh, doubts. I think it will just bring so many problems in 200,000 mileage. Even if it is very well maintained, it will bring more problems anyway. And you can buy 2 of these for 1 Touareg. And this one accelerates faster. They will have similar soundproofing. In terms of multimedia, it's not even taking it to school. It's taking it to daycare. The trim materials here are richer than in the Touareg. And in terms of equipment, this car is probably better equipped. Additionally, there is a helicopter on the roof. It's also more comfortable to sit here than in the previous Tang. There's simply more space for the knees. Here they learned about it. They heard people like me discussing it. Fuel consumption is also an important point when compared to the Touareg and Highlander. They promise 6 here, but realistically it will likely be 8 in summer, and in winter it will be around 9 to 10. This is with 700 horsepower. Even if you chip the Touareg's engine to give it that kind of acceleration, it will start consuming 20. The Germans just don't have such powerful hybrids. I mean, Toyota has hybrids, 3rd in the world by the way, after Geely and BYD, but they are slow. And here they've managed to make it powerful at the same time. And when you don't press the throttle, it's also very economical. And when you push the gas, it's very fast. And then there's the battery, where you arrive, pitch your tent, or want to take a nap, turn on the climate, and stay cool on electricity, no stink. And you also have 24-hour security here, thanks to the battery, both here and at Tang L. The cameras immediately record who comes up. Okay, I'll say goodbye. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. See you later.